A very beautiful quote by Perry Tailhard Descartes explained that we are not human beings having spiritual experience, but we are spiritual beings having human experience. We have come into this world with an innate wisdom and spiritual nature, but through our conditioning are unable to unfold it. So it's time to realize the true nature of ourselves. It is time for panel discussion on the topic, We Are Spiritual Beings. In the panel, we have with us Bholanath Yogi ji from Nath tradition, Principal HVP Nepal. He is also the founder of Children's Peace Home. Nath tradition refers to the masters of the entire universe and the doer of all supreme human deeds. The origin of the Nath community is associated with the Gorakhanath, the yogic incarnation of Lord Shiva to spread the teachings of the science of yoga. The Nath community is a shared home for all people regardless of their gender, caste and religion. There are two types of Nath, household Naths and emancipated Naths gurus. The household Naths see them as a descendant of Nath who broke their vows of the celibacy and settled down. Any individual from any caste who gets influenced by and believes in Nath tradition can be emancipated saint. They must follow the 3 steps of teaching, emancipation and Gorakhabana. The Naths follow 12 panthas, 12 ideologies having 12 communities or 12 surnames, and there were 6 gurus of Shiva Yogi and 6 gurus of Gorakha Yogi. The Naths further follow the principles of Chaurasi Siddha. In Nath tradition, 84 enlightened gurus have explored the basis of the survival of every creature. Nath Sampradaya has 9 Naths who were Siddhas and had perfected their mastery of yoga. In the panel, we also have with us Ms. Veena Dan Singhani, born in India, raised in Hong Kong. She is the director and founder of Alopecia Hair and Therapeutic Yoga and Laughter Therapy, teaching of Naveda Integral Wellness Center in Hong Kong, offering a transformative health experience. It aimed to popularize the Indian ancient wisdom and science to the global platform. She has been spiritually inclined from childhood. She is also a corporate wellness trainer and organizing and delivering health, happiness and wellness workshops around the globe. She has also led some sessions at leading conferences like Women's Extraordinary Forum, CSR, Asia, TEDx Hong Kong, University and Inclusion, and has been an advocate in promoting Work-Life Balance Week, International Happiness Day, World Laughter Day, Ambassador of Global Wellness Day, as well as volunteering a Masters of Ceremony for United Nations Yoga Day, and takes up many leadership roles and initiatives to spread health, happiness, peace, spirituality, and many more. Our next panelist is Ms. Baltarain. She's a trainer, coach, speaker, therapist with over 18 years spent in education and training, coaching and healing. She's a certified professional trainer, certified hypnotherapist, certified NLP master coach, past life regression therapist, inner child therapist and a family constellation facilitator, certified points of view practitioner, finding her true calling to become the bridge between different worlds and cultures to touch souls by marrying spirit and matter. She has trained, coached, healed, inspired people to overcome their fears, awakening their inner strength, unleash their full potentials and transform themselves to become an authentic leader, living every day in abundance, happiness, love and fulfillment. Belle is also a storyteller who combines meditation, music, movies, arts, photography, embodiment work and interactive process to bring more awareness and opportunities for people to interact with life from an open heart and multidimensional perspective. Our next panelist, whose Buddhist name is Tejavaro Thevo, Malaysian by origin of Indian heritage. He started learning Buddhism at 7 years of age in 1991. At 15 years of age, he becomes Srimanara in Malaysia. He became a bhikshu in Thailand when he was 20 years of age. In 1997, he went to Taiwan to learn Mahayana Buddhism and studied Chinese at National Sun Yat-sen University. He completed his bachelor's degree in anthropology at Marylhurst University, USA in 2008. He holds a master's degree in yoga from Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya in Haridwar, India. Most recently, he completed his PhD in yoga and the Buddhist tradition in 2017 at Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow, India. Currently, he is preparing for the postdoctoral program at National Cheng Kung University, Tainan, Taiwan. In addition, he gives lectures on Ayurveda and yoga at National Sun Yat-sen University and also serves as vice abbot for the Golden Mountain Temple. Today's panel discussion will be moderated by Dr. Vikrant Singh Tobar, convener United Consciousness. Dr. Tomer is an acknowledged trainer, academician, scholar, writer, and a management consultant. He's a freelance trainer and served the cabinet ministers of state, MLAs, police officers, and tycoons of the business world. His aim and objective is universal brotherhood and happiness through harmonizing the knowledge from the ancient scriptures into our lives. So I welcome all our guests for panel discussion.
Such a wonderful day today. I welcome Ms. Beltran from Vietnam. We acknowledge your presence, Tejavaroji from Taiwan. We acknowledge you, Veena from Hong Kong, and our own Bholanathji Yogi from Nepal. And dear audience from different parts of the world, we welcome you also in this United Consciousness Conclave 2022, which has been supported by G20 group of nations. So, friends, we are here to discuss on a very important, vital topic. We are spiritual beings. It is said that we are not human beings having spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having human experience. So, for a quick reflection, I'll come to you, Bholanathji. Is there any difference between being spiritual and spiritual being? Maybe a quick reflection.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Yes. Go ahead, Bholanathji. Okay, probably some bandwidth issue at his place. Tejavaroji, let me put this question to you. Being spiritual and spiritual being, is there any difference in this? Until we'll get him back. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, sir. There is a big difference between being spiritual and spiritual being. Being spiritual means the person who is learning, in the learning process, to understand about the nature or inner self, and to learn more about religious things, about nature, about oneself, about the soul, about the rebirth, karma. And spiritual beings, according to me, is the advanced practitioner who really understand himself and inner mind and how the body works and human mind works, and to understand the nature much better, and the life after death. And it's about spiritual. So I would definitely say there is a big difference.
That is nice. So Tejavaroji beautifully said that being spiritual is it is exploration into the self, and it's like primary school education. But spiritual being is a PhD, that you are advanced scholar and you know the matters of life after death even. So just a quick reflection from you also, Veena. What is spiritual? What is spiritual? When I say I'm spiritual, what do I mean by that? And then we'll go back to the Bholanathji. He has come back and joined us. Veena, what do I mean by being spiritual?
Spirit, well, thank you so much for having me here once again. So your question is, what is spiritual? Well, I guess, like he said, when you're just exploring or just learning, being spiritual would possibly be someone who is very inclined to nature, to going to temples, to say seeking the inner seeking more than what life has to offer materialistically. So then you go towards the spiritual path, or you're trying to seek something deeper, something more meaningful, something that you're not able to see, but you know that there is something. So that's from a very seeking perspective. But someone, like you said, if you're a bit more advanced and you have learned, or you sometimes you're born knowing that you don't even need to go into the step of actually exploring, seeking. You're just born that way because even I remember as a child, I was just very inclined to going to temples and seeking the company of saints and all that. So that could already come from your past life. So you could already be an advanced spiritual soul,
Mhm.
already at a certain level where you have to, in this life, possibly go deeper and deeper, because actually spirituality is so much more deeper than what seems to be. And you see
So,
many people in different levels.
so Veena mentioned about that it is seeking something higher within yourself, and some people are born with the seat of a spirituality and they have that inclination. Bholanath just to add with what Veena said, I would like to ask from you is when I see the world around, I see so many beautiful things. Even I see myself as a body. I see surroundings which is much physical and materialistic. What is the evidence that I'm spiritual? Because whatever I see, is it not truth? Why do I need to search inside when there is so much to search outside and Google is also there to help me to search outside? So why, what is the need? What is the evidence also that makes me believe that I am spiritual being?
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, my net is not working well. That's why I'm interrupted. So, yes, chitta santa talaya salaya pradishto, yastu prabhanjana vidhana rato hathasa. Yo mantra murti basaga satu mantra yogo, yes, chitta vritti rahita sahiraj yoga. हठम बिना राजयोगो राजयोगम बिना हठ न सिद्धे ततो युग्मा मानिस्पत्ते समभ्यसेत गोरक्ष बालम गुरु शिष्य पालम शेषा हिमालम शशिखंड बालम कालस्य कालम जित जन्म जालम वंदे जटालम जगदब जनालम वंदे जटालम जगदब जनालम ओम नमः पार्वती पते नमः. Thank you very much for inviting me here again. I namaste to everyone. So very, very good question. Very good to know about thing in the world when we came into the world. What I think, this whole world hasn't made by the matter. This whole world made by the spiritual. Anoraniyan mahato mahiyan atma guhayam nihatasya janto. Which is the anyan, which is the smallest part, is the spiritual part. From that the whole world begins. As Einstein says, energy doesn't lose, but it changes in another form. So the one energy change into the other form. That means if you go backwards, then you need to reach into the spirituality. The whole cosmos, whole everything is there in the world. The bird singing, the all those trees in the tree. What is the being there? What is the spirituality there? We can feel it if we have got the spiritual sense in our life. So yes, I mean,
Probably we lost him again. In the interest of time, I'll come to you, Belgi, with the same question. You come from Vietnam, there are so many beautiful things around. What makes me believe that I am a spiritual being? I'm a material being. I have all the facilities in the world. Why do I need to seek inside?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Vikrant, for having me here. And I just want to say that I think everyone we go through a lot of difficult difficult time in our life, no matter in which stage or during our life. So during those challenging times when the world outside is like kind of upside down for us, we usually, that is when people start to go inside, go within. So definitely the pandemic has started this I would say this movement for people to go inside very very profoundly. And that is where people start to understand there is much more power from within us that we haven't explored, because we have been so busy, uh, like you say, there's so much outside. We have been so busy attached with all the outside comfort and materialistic things, which have been helping us and giving us a very very good life and convenience. But at the same time, we forget who we really are and what kind of really the all the meaning, the purpose that we live. Sometimes we just when we start to understand that we are not afraid of death anymore, because we believe that we are energy being, like um the like Dr. Just mentioned, we transform from this energy to another form. So we don't, for me personally, I learned not to fear death anymore. So, and also I believe in past life. I start to remember who I was in different lifetimes. And I know it might not be for everyone, but that is my own experience. Yeah.
So Balji mentioned that yes, it is fine that you see beautiful things around, but when the setup gets upset, then you feel the need of going deeper. And that's why probably Bhagavad Gita starts with Vishad Yog. Grief makes you think deeper. When you see futility of all your efforts, which are not making sense anymore to you. So, and then she said that a moment comes when you feel that you're not afraid of that because you are a being that is eternal. It connects back to what Tejavoroji mentioned, that spiritual being is one who knows and thinks and believes about after death. Tejavoroji, will I survive after death? Who survives after death? And if somebody survives after death, what is the evidence? You may unmute and speak.
Yes, sorry, sir. It's a beautiful question, sir. Personally, I have never seen my past life, and according to the religions, and there is a set of beliefs, and we learn. But according to the science and University of Virginia in the United States, I did a lot of research about past life, the reincarnations, and they have some more than 300 evidence that people remember their past life. And then the researcher, the professor, the whole team, they did a beautiful research and found that yes, it is. And some people remember, even though they have a new birth. It's belief, and of course, like the practitioner or the beginners, we don't know about the past life. But according to our own karma, at present, whatever has been received by nature after we're born, so we can understood that there is no balance in everybody. Everybody's not balanced. It's not same for everyone. For rich, ugly, beautiful, and all that. So there should be next life. And then uh, the miss said that she remembers the past life. There are many people like that, so I don't believe, and I don't have evidence for right now except the spiritual text.
So, Tejavaraji, you mentioned that life appears disbalanced. It means there are further accounts than this life also. So, in very quick, within maybe 1 minute, if you could throw light upon, if I am a non-believer, I don't believe in rebirth,
Right.
still can I believe in being that I am a spiritual being? If I
Oh,
don't believe in rebirth, still can I believe that I am a spiritual being? How?
oh, definitely, sir. Because believing in rebirth, next life, and then the current life is two different things. Spiritual being means the person is a good human being. In one word, I would say good being a good human being, and then believe that which is in the future, which is not happening. It's two different things. Like being a good person and being hurt, it's a two different thing. So I would say that whatever we do in our life in the present, if you are in the presence, and it will gives more view for the future and how you lead your present life. So it's nothing to do, you don't have to believe about rebirth. After that, we can see right now cost and effect.
Thank you. You said that spiritual being means be a good human being. That itself is spiritualism. Vinaji, when we all are spiritual beings, then why there is so much conflict in the world? Does spirits fight with each other?
Mm. Mhm. Well, there's only conflict because we are not all realized souls yet. We still very much identify with the gross, with the body. So we're very much body conscious. The more we are still body conscious, that's where we really believe that the material world is that's the only world that there is. That's, yeah, so basically the conflicts only arise because of the fact that we've all forgotten who we truly are, and we really are more body conscious than soul conscious. The more and more we become soul conscious, the more and more we are able to spread the light. So the people who have become soul conscious and continue to spread the light and spread the message and help others realize who they truly are, that's where we really get peace. We all will become peaceful.
So, a mental shift, Vinaji says, is needed from body consciousness to soul consciousness. So, that is a tricky thing, what Vinaji said, and interesting too. Belji, there is one thing that I can see day and night, and I'm said not to connect yourself to that. There is something that I can't ever see, the soul, and I'm told to connect with that. So, disconnect, which is obvious, and connect, which is not visible. It becomes difficult for me to understand. For our audience sake, can you give us some tips that they would like to do from tomorrow onwards to shift from body consciousness to soul consciousness? Shift from what is visible to what is not seemingly visible. Go ahead.
Yes, I also believe that when we spend time with ourselves and listen to our thoughts and our emotions, which we say meditate, but for some other people, we have other kind of tools. So for one thing, which, for example, for me, I believe that in order to shift from like body consciousness to the soul consciousness, I need to move my body. So that is one of my tips is that I listen to music and I let my body, do what it needs to do with different kind of music, because I believe that our body is where all the subconscious memories and everything is in here. So it needs to be released certain belief that that are different, and certain memories, certain beliefs that may be different with others people, but it can cause conflicts and chaos only when I hold that too strongly and I don't accept the difference from others. But once I understand that we are one, we are all one consciousness, and I'm related to them. So if I'm mad at them, I'm also mad at myself. I just appreciate that they appear to be my mirror so I can release certain things. So dancing for me is one. Music for me is one tip that I do. Another one is that meditation helps me a lot to calm myself and really listen, enable me to listen to my own thoughts. What are some of the negative thoughts or negative belief that I have been installed when I was very young, or even I carry from past life or ancestors, and which I didn't know, but it was there. So I'm listening to my own thoughts, my own emotions, and I'm just kind of become an observer. I know you're there, and I thank you. But I don't have any judgment on that. Sometimes they are very negative, like why are you so ugly, and certain things, or why you're not able to do this. So but I understand that it came from some other things, and I just say I know you're there and I thank you, and then I let it go. And then starting like that, I accept my authentic self as well, and that is where the base for me to also accept others and seeing everyone as one.
Thank you. Quite a good tips. Spend time with yourself, do meditation, identify those negative patterns. And she said that those negative things may be coming from your physical DNA or your spiritual DNA also. Your past lives is the spiritual DNA, and the parents and forefathers, the material DNA, it may be coming from any place. And she said that you would like to observe all those patterns, and once you observe, then they start getting released. And she also mentioned about like leave yourself on music, let your body move with the music, and that music teaches you that as different notes together makes it complete. We all are dancing on our own music of life, so we are one in that music, in that moment, and that gives us the feeling of let go. That nice, the feeling of one consciousness. The same question to you also, Teja Varuji. Shift from body consciousness to soul consciousness doesn't look so easy. I have done my MBA to earn money, to get reputation, to have houses, cars. Now you are telling me that this person whose nameplate is there, who has a visiting card, you are not that. You are somebody else. It becomes so difficult for me to believe. And then if I am somebody else, why did I do all that MBA and PhD and all that? So my question is this: how to shift? Practical executionable tips which audience would like to do it from today itself.
I would say that we, our mind already have a lot of conflicts. Sometimes we are being good, sometimes we are being bad, and sometimes we have a bad emotions and good emotions. It's all like both sides, negative and positive, is us. So from there we can understand that we are not like one SIM card. We have a double SIM card by nature. So once we understand our nature, our basic nature, the basic nature, I would say, like when you were born, everyone is nice. Nobody is thief. Nobody, lie and steal things. So we're good human, by birth. But later, because of environment, etc., etc., we learn bad things. So that is you. We have to keep that kindness, that compassion, you know, for longer period of time. So because of the environment, we change. So I would say that don't be so attached with other beings, but you yourself, you know what is right, which gives you whatever you put the effort to do things, and which gives you bad results, and just stay away from the bad results, because you are the doer. So you can control, really, you can control the future.
Thank you. So he mentioned that we have two SIM cards. One SIM card is our soul, another is the body. So, body and soul are two SIM cards. They work together in this instrument. And to be mindful of which SIM card will provide you what. So, the permanent happiness comes from the SIM card of soul, and prosperity and education may belong to the SIM card of your body. Nice. So, Veena Tejavaruji mentioned about a method. He said that decrease attachment. Again, the question comes, decrease attachment from the bodies and the material things and then go closer to the soul, what you were saying. How to do that? And then I'll ask the same question from Bholanath also. My question is how to disidentify from the body and identify from soul to the soul. Practical executionable tips.
I guess, I mean, it's not an easy thing to do because we are very much still living in this material world where everything is so gross. And, we all are playing our roles in the body. Being a soul, we are playing roles. And uh, I guess if one has already come into this path to learn, they eventually will learn different methods and tools of how to disconnect and reconnect, disconnect and reconnect. So, of course, meditation is one of the most beautiful ways, simple, practicing simple meditations to withdraw, even for just 2 minutes every hour, just like the Raj Yoga, meditations teach us, like every hour, be silent for 2 minutes, reconnect to the source, reminding ourselves that we are souls playing our roles in this physical, materialistic body. And as whenever we are doing anything, we're serving, we're doing anything in this physical body, we play our part as a soul. But the practice has to be always come back to some level of awareness on a consistent basis, whether it is every hour or maybe 3 times a day, just to go back and reflect. Am I operating as a soul or am I operating from the body? And the minute we keep bringing this awareness, this practice on a regular basis to remind ourselves that we are the soul. So, this is how I'm going to make this decision or make this choice. I
Thank you.
think that's a good way.
Thank you very much. The whole world is she said, is the role play of the soul. Have constant awareness, and a true seeker will find his way, certainly. Bholanath ji, the same question. You mentioned that at the Anu level, we all are a spirit. So, how to realize that spirit? How to realize our true nature? Some practical executionable tips, which audience can do it from now.
To me,
Yes.
you asking me? I can't hear
Yes,
you very
Bholanath.
much.
Yes. Should I repeat the question?
I can't hear you very much. I I came to know that how we can realize we are the
This is
spiritual
the
being.
question. This is the question to you also. Can you help us with some practical tips? Practical tips to realize yourself.
Yeah, I mean, through the yoga only we can practice, because the result is we can find out, realize ourselves through the yoga only. When we see someone and feel he is a spiritual being, when we see the devatto darshan to someone, that means we are the spiritual being. um like, if we see that something positive, je har sahi par sampati dekhi, dukhit ho hi par vipati visheshi. If you see someone's progress and you feel the happiness in you, that means you are a spiritual being now. If you see someone's progress and if you do not feel the happy, that means you are not a spiritual being. For that, to practice yourself a spiritual being, you need to start donating, help someone. When you start helping in any way, like, helping money, helping in time, helping your, like, any way to help someone, then you automatically go for the abhyas. There is a way to become spiritual. Other thing is
Okay, it seems we lost him, but he gave us many gems before his connection got lost. So, dear friends watching us from different parts of the world, we had this wonderful discussion over here where we started discussing about, are we spiritual being? So, Tejavaruji said that being spiritual and spiritual being are two different things. He said being spiritual is a primary level course where you start self inquiring, but spiritual being means you are an advanced scholar and you understand the essence of your true being, that you exist even after your death. He said, though there are not much evidences because it is an experiential issue, experiential matter to realize that you exist beyond your death also. And he said that University of Virginia has got 300 plus evidences about it. And but even if you don't believe in life after death, he mentioned at least being good, doing good, thinking good is what is being spiritual. It is what is spiritual being. He said, if you don't believe in rebirth, also, then also you see the disturbances and inequalities of life. It means there is a long journey. That's why I got something in this life and something I didn't get. So you get so many answers when you see the bigger picture. He said that never remember we have two SIM cards. One SIM card is the soul, another is the body. And soul will provide us permanent peace and happiness. Body is for education, enlightenment, education and enjoyment and prosperity. And soul is for enlightenment. So, knowing this, attaching yourself less to the body and going towards soul is the solution. Then we have Veena ji, she said that seeking something higher is being spiritual, knowing that there's something missing in this world, and seekers are born with the seed, and the method to prosper that seed is know that the world is the role play of the soul. She said that identify with the soul and disidentify with the body, and she mentioned it's not that easy, but a true seeker will certainly find the path. And one method she suggested is,
अरे लेकिन वो तो मैंने बोलना बोल दिया
if
काम
you
बाहर नहीं
can
रहा था
if you can mute Bholanaji, thank you. She mentioned that constant awareness 3 times a day. Ask yourself, who got hurt, the body or the soul? Who said this, body or the soul? Who felt bad, body or the soul? So this is how, from where this conversation, this relationship is coming, can be a real great thing if you can remind yourself thrice a day. Nice. Thank you very much, Veena for that. And then Beltranji said that, yes, outside things are obvious and visible. Something which is not visible, the journey may start from Vishad, the grief, the challenging times, pandemic. So there is always a mental pandemic behind going to the spiritual path. And then people seek the deeper meanings of their life. And then they become no afraid of death also. For that, she said, few tips can be done. One is spend time with yourself. Meditate. Meditate on all negative things and from where these patterns are coming. Observe them, accept yourself as it is, and then with that peaceful mind, go beyond in your search for yourself. Dance on music. Science also says that we all are sound. So when you resonate with the sound, you'll find everybody is the beats of the same sound, and it creates the feeling of oneness. Then we had our revered Bholanath ji. He said that world is not made up of a matter; it is made up of spirit. At the Anu level, we all are spirit, and to realize itself, one, do yoga. Second, he gave a beautiful definition. Are you a spiritual being? The definition is if you can see spirit in everybody, Devatva Darshanam, then you are a spiritual being. If you see body in others, you are a body being. What you see in others is what you are actually. And that's why he said when you see spirit in others, then the feeling comes as mudita. You become happy in others' happiness. You can relate with their pain, karuna, And then he said, with that karuna and compassion, start donating. That will be an actionable item of karuna. Donate your jnana, donate your efforts, donate your knowledge, money, whatever you are in capacity of. And then last thing he said, do abhyasa. Continuous practice of this will help us to realize that we are a spiritual being. Thank you very much, honorable guests from different parts of the world. Thank you very much, the audience also. I'm sure that you must be benefited. We are deeply honored. Thank you. One in consciousness.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm very
Thank you.
sorry I couldn't contribute much.
No worries.
Unfortunately,
No worries,
this
but
whole
it was
area
good.
actually is coming and going. So next time I
No
will
worries.
be with more preference.